Hi and welcome to data entering form developed using Visual Basic.NET 2019. Okay, let me show you guys how this works. Here I have text box and I also have a combo box there. This is a combo box. Here I have a search button. Right. Now, we have all of these buttons. We can add new data, delete, update, print, and so on. First thing first, let's look for a name here to delete because we can select anything here. So I'm going to select, let's select Felix Terry, this one right here. And that's Felix Terry's details in there. We can click on delete. And that's it, it's out of the database. We can reset it or we can reinsert it if we want. If I click on add, you will see Felix Terry right here. Let's assume we want to add. There we go. That's Felix Terry right there. The choice is yours. Supposing you intend or you want to delete everything. Let's go for Kemi Frog now. We can delete Kemi Frogner, and if we don't want Kemi Frogner in there at all, we just reset the whole system, and that's it. That's Kemi Frogner gone out of the system. The other thing we can do is we can update. Supposing we want to update the details of Samson Wells. Okay, let's come in here. Look at the customer reference. Let's say we want to change that to that, and maybe it's updated his telephone number, and let's assume it's changed, or we have the wrong address in there. All we just need to do is okay, passport, he wants that change as well to his driving license. All we just need to do is click on update, but before then have a good look at this. Now update, there we go. The details of Samson Wells are all changed. Now, supposing we want to search, let's assume we want to search for Ali. If we have Ali in the system, type Ali's name in there and click on search. That is Ali right there, Ali's details. You can click and see all of Ali's details. Let's assume we want to look for Paul. There we go. We have everybody called Paul on the system. Supposing we want to add new data, click and just add new data onto the system. Okay, I'm going to just modify one or two data in here. I'm going to change that to whatever I want and just enter another name here. Let's say the name is Grace Jackson, and address of Ms. Jackson, number 30. Let's say Warwick. Yeah, Warwick Town. And that's the details in there. Let's change that to that. And come right here. Date of birth of Miss Jackson. There we go. And proof of ID. Let's say maybe student ID. And that's it. So all we just need to do now is enter or click on this button right there, and when you come right down here you can see Miss Jackson's details right there. This is just an overview. Okay, let's start a new project. So I'm going to exit out and let's minimize this. Let's go to create a new project. And the next thing is to select our type of application we intend to use. I'm going to be using Visual Basic, so I'm going to select that and click on next. And right here, let's give my project a name. I'm going to call it VB underscore data underscore entry form. And let's click on create. Okay, now that the development environment is ready, the first thing I'd like to do is to increase the size of my font to about 1386 by 777. There we go. Press enter. Now I'm going to go straight to the toolbox. Click on the toolbox. Let's look for plane. There we go. Draw that. Bring it right here. And I'm going to come straight to the properties here. Let's go for border style and change the border to fixed 3D. And I'm going to copy that because I need 3 of those. And reduce this. About that. Copy one more. Bring it down here. Select the 3 panel. Let's get rid of this for now and just drag it that much. All the way. Right, that's fine. Now the next thing I want to do is let's just add some component onto it. Let's come right here. I'm going to add data grid view to the bottom plane, to the bottom panel actually. Drag and draw. That's my data grid view there. That's fine. And the middle one, I'm going to add buttons right there. I'm going to need about 7 of those. Click, hold and drag. I have 2, 4 and 3 more. Yeah, that will do. Now up here I need as follows. I need a label and a text box that I will copy across. Text box. Let's come up here and grab a label. Then we need combo box and a date time picker. Yeah. Then a combo box right there. Okay, I'm going to select all of these my components and let's change the font style to about 20. Make that bold, make it 20 there. Alright, that's fine. Bring this right here and just change the look. Select that, hold on to your control, copy and repeat another one. There we go. Alright, that's fine. Let's move that up. Alright, click on the last one here and just drag it that much. That will be for my address. And click, drag and drag. So we have one combo box here. Bring it down and 2 text box here. Bring it that much. And right here I'm going to need labels. Grab those labels, bring them here. Come right here. And this one, that's fine where it is. Okay, we need 1 text box here. And 2 combo box here. 1, 2. There. So all of this component now, what I want to do is to give them a name. Select that. Let's increase the font, the size of these buttons as well. Come right here, just come in here, make that about maybe 22. Bold, 22. That's fine. Yeah. And select the button. Change the name of this one to BTN. BTN add new, and the font on it will be known as add new. There. The next one is going to be BTN. Let's go for BTN delete. Okay, the name will be delete, and change the name to btn delete. btn delete. There. And I'm going to repeat the same thing for the others. That will be update. That's btn update. Change that to update. And let's speed up that of the buttons. Okay, I have all my buttons ready. There's one thing I should show you guys. You see this data grid view? Make sure it's selected. We now need to go to the layer somewhere here, or this one that is called the category here, and come right here. You see where we have auto size column. Auto size column mode, drop it down. Let's select fill, because we do need that so that we can fill the whole data in there. Okay, now let's take care of these ones. This is going to be known as customer reference. Alright, and the text box, that will be known as txt customer reference. There. This is going to be known as, maybe we have to move this a little bit so that we have enough room for everything. Yeah, I'll be taking care of that later on anyway. This will be known as first name. The text box for it to be known as txt first name. There. And below that will be surname. And I'm going to repeat the same thing for the rest of the components. You will see their names and you can change your own to whatever you like. So I'm just going to come in here txt that, and I will now speed that up since you guys get the whole idea. Okay guys, that's how the interface is looking right now, and if I run it, this is what you will see right there guys. However, there's nothing happening right now. Okay, let's do some work so that we can get all the data in place. So I want to end that. So right here I'm going to double click on exit. Let's start work with the exit. So I'll start by saying try. So in here, the first thing I'm going to do is I will maybe declare a variable, or we can just say if, open a bracket and enter speech mark in there, confirm if you want to edit. There, that is my first argument. The next argument is going to be, this is meant to be a message box though. Let's say message box though. Let's come out here and just say message box dot show. So if message box dot show, let's put it in a bracket. If message box dot show confirm if you want to exit, let's enter another parenthesis here, and this one is going to be, let's just call it data entering form. So that's the second argument, block that, comma, then we enter another argument. This is going to be for message box button, and in there I'm going to press enter dot yes or no, and one more argument that will be for the message box icons, and the icon I'm going to use will be question mark. There we go. Now enter all of my argument. I might as well just come down here and say equals, if it's equals date dialog results dot yes. Okay, close that, Then we now want to say application.exit. There, dot exit. So that's another easy way of doing that. Now underneath here, I'm going to enter a message box. I might as well just copy everything I have in here. Just copy that, bring it down, and enter the cache statement in there. I'm going to change this to ex.message. So that will display a message for me, and bring this up here. Okay, bring that in. I'm just going to get rid of this one. We don't need that anymore. Alright, I'll get rid of that. Okay, and that's it. So that'll be my message. Okay, and right here I need to enter and try. Okay, that's it. That error is gone now. So that's my exit button taken care of. So let's try it out. So I'm now going to click on the exit button. Exit, no. Confirm if you want to exit, yes. So that's fine, that's working. So now let's come in here. You see the reset button. I'm going to double click on the reset, and right there I'm going to use try cache again. Try cache, copy all of these statements, and just dump it inside cache. And right up here, now the condition is going to be for each, that will be txt, any of my component that is txt inside, let's say panel 1, because I do have some in panel 1 dot controls. So what I want is if type of component is a txt, that is if it is a text box, then I want the following to happen. Whatever that is txt that have that prefix txt dot text, I want it cleared. There we go. That will take care of all of the buttons in all of these text box in there. Well, I might as well just use the same method for the combo box, because I do have some combo box in there. So I'm just going to copy this, come right down here, paste that, and just change this to CBO. Those are the prefix for my combo box, CBO, and in here is going to be CBO as well. Here that will be CBO, and let's change the properties. So the object, I mean, I'm going to change that to combo box, and that's it right there. Grab the object. So that's taken care of. Now I also need to take care of my that is my date time picker. So let's say date time, the time picker right there. That will be dot reset text is called. That's good there. So that should take care of every single one of my components on board the system. So if I run it now, this is how it's going to look like. Alright, okay guys, let's try out this reset button. Come right here, change the date to about that, and nationality, just enter whatever in there, whatever here as well. So click on reset there. So guys, that's how the reset works. Now let's add some components in onto all of these combo box. So I'm going to get rid of that, and let's come right in here, pin this down, select the combo box. The first one is this very one, gender. It's known as CBO gender. So let's come right to where we have item. So that should be here somewhere. Let's come in here again, item there, items it's called. Drop that down, and the first data in there is going to be female, and we have male there. Now let's go to the, okay, let's come in here, proof of ID. With a proof of ID, I'm going to set it for as follows: student ID, passport, pilot license, driving license, there, and finally nationality. I'm going to come in here, select that. The nationality is going to be as follows. Okay, that's it: Canadian, United States, United Kingdom, India, Philippines, Pakistan, and so on. You can enter whatever nationality you like in there. There we go. That's it. If I run that now, this is how that's going to look like. And drop that down. There we go. We can select whatever nationality we want in there, male or female. The choice is yours. There, guys. And change the date to whatever you want to change it to. So that takes care of that. So we have this and this in place. We have this working as well. Okay, now before I go any further, let me do one thing here. I'm going to go straight down up here. You see where we have tools. We need NuGet package manager. Select the NuGet package manager and come in here, select that. What we want to do is to install SQLite. Go straight to the browser here and let's select SQLite. Browse, and I'm going to come right down here. Let's select the one up I'm going to be using this one, SQL by developing the SQL team. That's approximately, it's been downloaded approximately 7.87 million plus. So I'm going to select this and let's come right here, select, just check on this, click on those checkbox, and where we have install, click on install and click on OK. Now we'll wait for the feedback here. There we go, it's installed onto your system, successful. That is fine there. So let's close this. We don't need that anymore. We have no need for that anymore. The next thing I want to do now is to create my database. So I'm going to click on my SQL browser. Okay, I'm going to show you guys the link, or I will include a link for this browser in my description area for the video so that you guys can download and install it onto your own system. So I'm going to browse to where I intend to save my work. Okay, I'm going to be saving my database right in here. Double click on that and let's give this database a name. I'll just call it details. That's fine. There, details of customer. That's fine. Just call it details. Click on save. There we go. Now I'm going to call the table the same name, details. And right here, add field. The first field is going to be ID. And I'm going to check all of these. Okay, the first one is make sure it's an integer value. It's not, nothing in there. And in here, primary key, this one auto increment, and it's going to be a unique number. Now click on the next field. On the next field here, I'm going to call that CUS ref, and followed by first name. The next one is going to be surname. Next, I'm going to make that address, and next that will be mobile, your mobile phone. Next, that will be email. Let's move this down so that you guys can see what I'm up to. Next, I'm going to call that gender. And we have date of birth, DOB, nationality, and finally, that's going to be proof of ID. Just call it proof there. And I'll then change all of the data type. I'm going to change them to text, and that will be all with my database. And there we go. There, that's my database completed. Okay, just last quick check on it. Click on OK. There we go. Now close the database. Yes, save it. That is it. Database is created. Now let's come in here, double click on the form. So right up here we now want to import the SQL itself. So come right up here, press enter. I'm just going to enter in here import systems, a system dot data dot SQLite. There we go. That's all I need to do in there. Okay, so the next thing I want to do right here now is I'm going to call the following. So let's say dim. So let's declare the following variable: db as new the following object. I mean SQL. Let's say SQLite adapter, data adapt. Then the next one is going to be SQL or dim SQ. That's a SQL DT. So I'm going to call this object new data table. There we go. Now the next one is going to be for the command dim SQL, let's say cmd as new SQLite command. There. And finally I'm going to go for SQL con, which is for the connection, as new SQL connections. There we go. So those are the objects. Every single object I'm going to be using for the connectivity is all taken care of. Now the next thing I'm going to do now is let's come right here and just, well, maybe we should just create a function right underneath that. I'm going to say private sub. I will call it update table, and my update table we have as follows. First of all, okay, to connect the database, I'm going to copy this very object there and I'm going to paste that in here. I will now open up to add a parenthesis, and let's add speech mark as well. And in here I now need a data source. So my data source, I actually need to locate where that data source is going to be. So I'll go straight to where I save my database. Hold on to the shift key on your keyboard, right click on your database and select copy path. Once that is done, come right down here and you can then paste the location of your file. Get rid of that excess speech mark, and there, that's it. Now we need to open up the connection. So let's say SQLite con dot open. There, and press enter. The next thing is for us to use the command to connect this very SQL open. So this very one, I'm going to copy that, come right down here, paste, and I will now come down here and say SQL command dot connect equals SQL con. There we go. Now again, we call the SQL command again. This time around is going to be for the command text and equals whatever statement, SQL statement you want to enter in there. So that's going to be select. Try that again. Select. Okay, let's just close that. The error goes away. Select all from details, because details is the name of my database. Okay, select all from details, and what I want you to do is I'm now going to create another variable here. I'll call it dim SQL read as SQL lights. No, that should be uppercase. SQLite data reader. There we go. And this data reader equals SQL command dot execute reader. Now we're almost there. We now say dim SQL data table. Might as well just copy that SQL data table and SQL DT, which is the name that I call it, dot load in there. And what I want you to load is whatever I have inside the SQL read. There we go. So we now need to close SQL read dot close. We also need to close SQL connect dot close, and finally we need to close that. That should be SQL. Okay, this is close, and SQL con dot close. Right. Finally, we need our data grid view. Data grid view 1. Dot data source. Okay, and that source is going to be SQL data, SQL DT, and that takes care of my connection there. Okay, to verify that this database is connected, I'm going to select this function and copy it. Let's go straight to our form load, double click on the form and just paste that in there. Okay, then let's run it and see. And there we go. That's it. That's my database in there, so that is fine. Okay, all I then need to do is to take care of these buttons to get the database working. So with that, I'm going to take care of the add new, to exit out and go back in there, double click on add new button, and right in here I need the following first. Let's copy this from here up to command text and come right down to where I have my add new, paste that in there. Let's use SQL statement insert. So insert, that will be into details. Details is the name of my database, and what I want you to insert is as follows. I want the following that is customer reference, comma, first name. Those, if you guys can still recall, those are the fields that I enter in my database, comma, I have address, comma, I have mobile, email, comma, I have gender, and I have that will be date of birth, DOB I call that. Then I also have nationality, and finally proof. There we go. Alright, those are my data, or shall I call it fields in place. Okay, now the next thing is, let's come right down here. I now want to enter the value, so I'm going to press enter here, and let's just start from here where you guys can see it properly. I'm going to say value or values, open a bracket, I'll say art, let's call that record 1, comma, and the next one will be record 2 up to 10. I have 10 of these. Copy that. This will be record number 2, paste, that'll be 2. Then I have record number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and finally 10. There we go. Those are all my records in place. Okay, and now I'm going to close here. Let's get rid of this one. It's not required there. Okay, so let's get rid of this error. That's it right here. Just delete that. It's not required there because I already have speech marking there. So that's fine. Now the next thing we want to do now is we now need to add everything straight into the parameter for the SQL command. So let's say SQL command dot parameters dot add with value. And what am I adding? That is going to be record number 1, and this record number 1 is going to be txt customer reference dot text. I'm going to repeat the same thing for the others, so I might as well just copy this instead of typing. I need 10 of those. That's 5. Copy, paste, and let's change the details around. So this one is 2, 3, and so on. 6, 7, 9, and 10. And let's change the object name around. This one is first name, surname here, address, mobile, email, we have gender next, we have gender, or what is it? No, it's called CBO gender. Then we have dates time picker, date time picker 1. Then we have CBO nationality, and finally we have CBO proof. There we go. Right. So all we then need to do is we now need to get this executed. SQL command dot execute the query. This one there. And we also need to close SQL connect dot close. And finally my table, I need to call my table here. No, it's not a table, it's called update table. The function that I created earlier that called the database onto the system. Update table, this other one. Copy that and just paste it right underneath here. There we go. That's all there is to that. So I'm going to give it a try. I might as well have a go at it and see. So let's run it. Okay, decision time. So let me enter the reference number there for this guy. So let's say there's the ref. And the name is Tony Montana. And the address of Montana, 57 Little Venice Road. Okay, telephone number of Mr. Montana. Email, that'll be Tony at gmail.com. Gender male. Date of birth, you just make something out there. And right here, nationality, let's say it's British. And in here is a pilot for real. So try this out. Decision time. Oh yeah, it's working. That's nice. So that takes care of the add. Okay, we've added 3 data of Tony Montana, which we should be able to delete as time goes on. Alright, let's exit out and take care of updates. Yeah. Okay. To update, I might as well just copy everything in here. Let's copy it all. Copy and come right in here. Double click on update. And in there, before any other thing, I'm going to say dim. I'll call that record ID as integer, and the value in there is going to be my data grid view. Data grid view 1 dot selected rows, and that is 0 dot, and the cells is going to be, let me take that from my ID and dot value there. And in here, all that I've copied from here, that is the add new record. I'll now come in here, just paste them in there. So that makes life a little bit easier. All I then need to do is I'll change this SQL statement to update. Updates the database, which is update details. Okay, and set ID equals ID. And let's enter a comma there. Get rid of that bracket. And now, if ID equals ID, then cost reference equals cost ref as well. Comma. Let's add arts there so that I don't get it wrong. Add and this one will be art as well. Let's change that, come here, art. Then first name equals first name art first name. Surname equals surname art. Surname. So let's come down here, press enter. When I have address, repeat exactly the same thing for address. Art address. Then mobile equals art mobile. Email equals art email. Gender equals art gender. Date of birth equals art date of birth. Nationality, repeat exactly the same thing. And finally, proof of ID equals. There we go. So that takes care of all of my fields, and these fields will be okay. It won't be finished if I do not specify my where all of this information is coming from. So what I would then do is I'm going to come in here, let's come in here and say where ID equals art ID. So that takes care of that. This, I don't need this. I want to get rid of this. There should be a quote in here. Yeah, close that. And that takes care of the error that you guys saw earlier. Let's put this down. Okay. Now in here, if you notice, I'm addressing each of them with their respective fields. So I'm going to change every one of those. Instead of art record, I'm going to change it to art their field name, and the next one is art first name, art first name, art surname, and so on. I'll get back to you guys as soon as I finish that. And there we go, guys. And you also need to get it executed there, close it, and call your function update table. And that takes care of the updates. So we need to take care of let's take care of the delete. Come in here. Okay, as for the delete, since okay, let's just copy all of these here. I'm gonna copy it up to here and come right down here where I have my delete. Paste. Let's close this first, and I'm gonna need this as well. Come right down here and paste it right underneath here. And in there we then need to use SQL statement for what we intend to delete. So come in here and say delete from details. Details is my database name, where ID equals art ID. There. Okay, now underneath we will now say SQL command dot parameter dot add with value And what am I adding with value? That is going to be my ID, comma, record ID, and that should take care of that. Okay, that takes care of my delete. Now I might as well just run it and let's see. Okay, come in here, try out the delete, select that. There we go. I can delete. That is fine. Alright. We can add, we can delete, or we can update as well. Okay, we try out update. Let's close this. Now let's come in here. The next thing I want to do is as follows. You see this very one. I want to be able to select data in here and everything displayed in there, then I can update it. So let's double click or just select it. Let's come straight to the properties and let's go to events. Right inside event, you see where we have cell click. Double click on that. Inside the cell click, we need to enter the following commands. So my first line of code is going to be txt customer reference dot text equals data grid view 1 dot selected rows, and that will be 0 dot cell. The very first cell that I'm calling will be my number 1. Number 0, that's my ID, but I'm not using the ID here. Dot value dot to string. So that's the very first one. Okay, the second one will be for my first name and so on. So I'm just going to copy that and just paste second. And one more, just make that. We have 5. I'm going to copy that. It's in total is 10 anyway. So just paste. There we go. And just change it, the numbers. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And this is first name. Surname, address, and so on. So I'm going to speed that up. There we go, guys, all taken care of. Okay, this is how the lines of code looks like. But I'm going to have a problem if I don't use try catch in there. But let me see if it's going to work the way I expected. So let's see. So run the program. We're going to enter some data in here. Maybe speed that up. Okay, enter the others here and date of birth. We just make that up. Come right down here, nationality, and I'm a pilot. Let's enter London here and come right down here, add again and again. So give delete a try. Yeah, delete work. 8 gone, 7 gone. And now let's try out this. Okay, you see here I can select. Okay, but you guys don't know what's happening here. You will see what's happening now. Let's try to change. Since I've selected number 5, let's change the details of number 5 to 707. That's an old airplane. Okay, now let's change the name of that to Henry, and let's come in here. That will be Jonathan. And address is number 18 Queen's Park. And change all of that. Enter his name in there. It's male. Date of birth Okay, let's change this to about 14. Okay, let's say it's from Australia, and it's got its own passport and there. So let's give this update a try. We want it to update ID number 5 with 747 to 707. Let's see, we have an error. Okay, it's saying insufficient evidence. So let's say, I think it's got to do with my parameters here. I was meant to run this up, which I did not. Okay, end that. Let's come into delete. I did that in delete, so I can just copy it from delete. Double click. That's the other disadvantage, disadvantage of copying and pasting. Okay, now that's for delete. Let's come in here, double click, and just paste it right in there and there. Okay, so that should take care of my updates. Yeah, so have a good look at it, guys, and let's try the update again. Run. Okay, select one of these. If I select this, I expect it to appear here. There we go. So that means the lines of code for the combo box here, these very lines of code, select the combo, come right in here, you see data grid, cell, click, that is working. Okay, but I may have some problem. Let's try it out again before I decide on what to do. Maybe I should use a try catch. Alright, that's it. I have an error because I click on the cells. So now let's take care of that before I continue. So I'm going to say try. There, try catch. If there's any error, do this. So I'm going to grab all of this now and just move it straight in here. Okay, and the message will just be message box dot show. Let's enter ex dot message, so that'll take care of that. Alright, so if I click on any of the cells again, this message box will pop up anyway. So let's run that and see. Then we'll try out the update again. There we go, click. Yeah, that's fine. An error message pops up. Okay, so let's select any of these. There we go. So let's change this one to 727. And the name, let's change the name to Jonathan Davis. And address of Mr. Davis, let's say number 17, Stanmore. Right. And change this. The name, let's say Joe at. Yeah, date of birth. Maybe change that. There we go. And passports, nationality, let's say from the US. Okay, so decision time, we should be able to click on this, and I expect all of these details to be populated here. So click, there we go, guys. It's now working. Look at Jonathan right there, Jonathan Davis. Okay, so it is working. If I click, you will get Jonathan Davis underneath here again. So let's do that. Look at it. Underneath here we have Paul, Jonathan, Paul, Jonathan. Okay, delete is working. Select number 9, get rid of it. That's working. Update works fine. So okay, guys, let's take care of the print. So I'm going to exit out. Before we can take care of the print, I need 2 objects here. Let's come right down. Where is it? Print document. Double click on that. I also need print preview. There we go. Okay, let me grab this tooltip. Just need it for one component there. you can use it for all. Alright, now select print preview but dialog. Go straight to the property there of the print preview dialog. See where we have, let's select it again, come right down here, and where we have document, drop it down and select print document 1. There we go. Now I'm going to go straight into the form and declare the following. So I will just call that print as a private bitmap as bitmap. There. Now I'll come straight into the button itself, double click on print button and right in there enter the following lines of codes. Right, those are the lines of code for my print. However, to be on the safe side, we can just enter try catch in case if there's any problem. So grab all of this and just dump it right in there. And a message in here, so I can copy that very message. Let's copy this one here and paste it in here. So if there's any error, that will notify us. Now one more thing, let's come straight to the dialog here, sorry, the object here, print button, double click on that, and in there we're going to enter e.graphic .draw image, and the image is going to be the bitmap, comma, enter the coordinates 0 by 0. There, that's it, that's for the print. If I run it now, save and let's run, and let's see how the print works. Click on print. I think it's working, that's good. There we go. And that's the print. All you just need to do is to click on the print to delete that or close that and exit. So we need this so that we can take care of this. And if I enter or place my mouse there, I want it to tell me what's going on. So that's why I need the tooltip. So I'm going to go back in there. Let's select that and come straight to the properties. Right underneath here there will be a tooltip, and that is why I enter tooltip. So I will just say enter, or I'll just say search for a data. Here. Oh no, search for a name, because it's for name. I'll search for first name. First name, that's it. Fine. So if you like, you can do it for all of the buttons as well. So that will be add new, and that's delete, update, print, reset, and finally, okay, we have search. Here exits, that's the final one. Right, that's fine. Okay, let's run it and make sure the tooltip is working. So I'm going to run the program, and there we go, guys. Just paste your mouse in there. There we go, it's working there. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, that's it. It's fine now. Okay, the tooltip is working, guys. So now let's take care of the search. So first of all, I'm going to double click on the form, because the form is going to work with the search text box. So in there, okay, right in there, the form load, I'm going to enter as follows. Okay, just have to speed that up. Alright, so the field that I'll be searching for will be the first name. You can change yours to whatever field you want. but I'm just going to be using the first name. And if you look at it, the selection statement is just select from my database here, that is called details. Okay, now let's come in here, the text box itself. Without select the text box, go to the property, you need the event, and inside the event we need let's use key press. Double click on that, and I'm going to enter the following lines of code for the text box. There, here are the lines of code for the text box. Once again, specifying the field that I'm going to be searching. Okay, so I'm now going to copy the same lines of code and use it for the buttons here. Double click on my search button, paste that in there, but there's going to be an error, so I'm going to have to delete this because it doesn't work with, if you look at it, if you look at the error message there, let's undo that. The error message here is telling us that the teacher is not a member of event argue. Oh, okay, it's not a member of that very event argument, so I'm going to get rid of that and get rid of this as well, so that's fine. Okay, that's all there is to it. So that argument only works for text, I reckon, and that should work for my button. So I'm now going to run it. There we go, and let's try to search for somebody. Let's search for Jonathan. Okay, just press enter because it's for key press. There we go, we have Jonathan Davis details in there, and let's search for Paul. Come in here, click on search. There we go, that's Paul's details in there. Let's add more data in there. So let's say we want to add the following, and that is Kim Casey, and in here the address is number 19 Little Venice Close, by number, and email, that'll be kim@gmail.com. Female. Get rid of the search so far in there and come right in here. She's a Canadian, proof of ID, she's a pilot. Let's come in here, add details of Kim. There guys, 14, 15, 16, 17, and check how the delete. There we go, it works as expected. So with that guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. You all have a nice day, and please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member. Bye for now.